Manchester United yet again play Brighton. 2 games in a row against Brighton away from home. This time this one's the League Cup game, so it should be a different type of game to the previous game in the league, because there's probably going to be rotated sides from both teams for this particular encounter. Now, I'm not too sure what Ollie's going to do here, but this is Premier League opposition away from home. The last game was against Championship opposition, and although Luton were going well in the Championship, this is a completely different ball game playing Brighton. I mean, Brighton have started off the season well, and they completely outplayed Manchester United in the previous game. So we've got to play better than that. I mean, Jesus Christ, that was fucking horseshit, that last game. And we've got to play better than that. If we play bullshit like that again, Manchester United will lose. I mean, we're not going to get lucky. Lining's not going to strike twice for Manchester United, I doubt. And you can't keep getting lucky. You don't get lucky in order to achieve your goals. You don't get lucky to win the league or stuff like that. And Manchester United have got to improve. You can take away a couple of lucky results, but in the long run, we've got to get better. Now, I don't know, there probably will be multiple changes for this game for Manchester United. A number of players just aren't stepping up to the mark for me at the moment in time. Really poor performances out there from a number of players. Even the likes of Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof has been poor at times this season. You've had a whole load of players. Pogba's been poor. Anthony Martial's been poor. Even at the weekend, Greenwood poor. Some really poor performances out there. And it may be a bit due to the fact that we didn't have a pre-season. There's been problems for players and whatnot. But that's not really an excuse, because some teams have been doing well. The likes of Everton have been doing well. Okay, they've had a bit more of a pre-season than Manchester United, but some teams have been doing well. Some teams have been doing shit. So it's just one of them things at the moment in time, and we can't just use that as an excuse as to why we can accept these poor performances week after week. We've got to get better. This is not acceptable for Manchester United. We've got to be at it, because we're going to drop points in the long run. But this League Cup game gives Manchester United the opportunity maybe to rotate some players. Now, whether they're going to play the likes of Mopat and players like that again, I'm not too sure, but he does cause problems for Manchester United. A lot of their players did cause problems for us, and they hit the woodwork 5 times in that game. So their finishing probably has got to be improved. But this is against a team that were tipped to be fighting relegation at the start of the season, and we beat these comfortably 3-0 only a few months ago. What difference a few months makes for Manchester United. We look like the opposite team when we played them on Saturday to when we beat them 3-0 only a few months ago. We really did, and we've got to improve. Obviously, Henderson's going to come back in goal. I'm just not really convinced with David Hare anymore at this moment in time. And I would like to personally see it, and it's going to happen, I reckon, this season. I reckon that Dean Henderson will eventually, over the course of the season, outdo David Hare and be the long-term goalkeeper. For the next few games, he's going to be the cup. For the next couple of months, he's going to be a rotation cup goalkeeper for Manchester United. But I think if he keeps keeping clean sheets in this, and as soon as David Hare actually makes an error for Manchester United, I'm just not confident in him being in goal at the moment. Did pull off a good save against Brighton, but it just doesn't give me the confidence that Manchester United are going to keep a clean sheet at the moment in time. A few more clean sheets for Henderson in the cup is going to put pressure on De Gea, and he's going to have to keep some more clean sheets. De Gea will, for Manchester United, and not make any glaring errors. Now, back forward, Williams will come back in. Probably keep Wan-Bissaka, because the other options are not really good enough at the moment. Unless we get a left back in, then we can play Williams probably at right back, and then we'd have someone else like Luke Shaw or the other one to play left back. So at this moment in time, Wan-Bissaka and Luke Shaw. And I want to see Ted Menge play alongside Bay, but he's probably going to go. He's going to go for always Maguire, isn't he? Maguire and Bay will be the two. Van der Beek will come back in. Probably Fred. Well, I don't know who the other. Maybe we'll keep Bruno Fernandes in there. I'm not too sure. We've got other options as well. McTominay could come into the team as well. The forward 3, I want to see the forward 3 that we're normally starting, but he's probably going to, whether he's going to go for Agallo, James, Lingard or Mata, probably going to go for something along them lines. I would presume he will go for. Depends whether James is going out on loan or sticking around, or what's happening with Dan James. But I reckon Lingard probably could well be one of them out wide. But if it's Agallo up front again, he was very, very poor in the last game against Luton. So that's why I want to see Martial, Rashford and Greenwood really get some game time under their belt in this competition to really improve their form. Because Greenwood and Martial were really poor against Brighton on Saturday, and we need to get some better form into some of these players for the long run, because we don't know what's happening. One of them could well get a rest in the next couple of weeks if we bring in the likes of Jadon Sancho or what. So if we start playing them, we're only into the fourth game of the season here for Manchester United. So playing all three of them, to be honest, I don't think it's too bad an option. He won't do that. He'll probably play, as I say, some of them fringe players there, but it gives them an opportunity then to maybe get themselves another goal, get some confidence up, which is what I think Rashford's doing there, getting himself a bit of confidence. Got 2 in 2 now for Rashford, so that's great. And then, as I say, if Jadon Sancho comes in, one of these can come out one game in a cup game if we get through. We've got Champions League as well, and we've got a bit more of a rotation then. So if they're playing week in, week out now, then they can have a little bit of a breather then. One of them will alternate between the 4 of them, because then we'll have options for Manchester United going forward. But I think this is going to be another tricky game for Manchester United. It really is, and I'm not too sure whether Manchester United are going to get through or not. We just don't know what's going to happen with Manchester United. But if we go with a strong lineup, I'm going to go for Manchester United winning this game 2-1. I think we might just pinch it there. I mean, they didn't really. I mean, they had a couple of chances. De Gea made a couple of saves, but in all fairness, the shots were bad finishes. Is some of them for me. They should have scored more goals than they did, and they just don't really have the quality up front. Although they did dominate Manchester United, we were really poor. I think if we could up our play 15-20%. I mean, the second half we just upped it a little bit in that start of the second half. Although we were absolute horseshit and deserved to lose the game against Brighton before, we did up it a little few minutes. And if we could do that for 20-25 minutes or half an hour of the game, I think Manchester United could be all right, because we have better quality on the pitch than Brighton. No disrespect to them, their forwards just don't have the quality that Manchester United have. And if we can get the likes of Greenwood and Martial and Rashford, if they do play this game, into some good attacking areas in and around the box, I'm sure they can finish a couple of chances off. And we didn't really get enough chances to Greenwood and to Martial in that game, although they were both poor. The only chance that Greenwood had, he did put away, which was gutting that it was offside. But that's the way it is. But he will finish. If you give him chances, he will finish. If he was playing in a really attacking side, like, Jesus, if he was playing for Man City last season, Greenwood would have probably got 20 plus goals. He probably would, because he is a lethal finisher, and if you give him chances, he will score goals. And we need to get him in good areas and good chances. And bringing Jadon Sancho in, I think could really benefit Greenwood, because he creates a lot of chances. He scores a lot of goals himself, Sancho, but it might give Greenwood the opportunity down the middle, certainly into maybe if we get through this League Cup game, which I do hope we do. It may give us the opportunity, if we do rotate, to give Greenwood that chance down the middle instead of playing Agallo down the middle. And if you're being supplied by the likes of Jadon Sancho, I think he could really do bits in that number 9 position. I really do, because that for me would be his favourite position. Although he's played well out on that right hand side, I think going forward he'd be the dog's bollocks down that middle, because given one, 2 chances, he seems to bury them. Very rarely does Greenwood not finish his chances, and he's a real clinical finisher, and that's where I would like to see him given more game time this season. But only 18 years of age, it's a job for any player in and around Europe to play at one of the biggest clubs in the world as the centre forward, even going into their second season. It's a job when you play only one striker systems really now, and not really playing the 4-4-2 which anymore really. I would like to see that at some point, but you know, it's not really a formation that clubs usually use nowadays. But playing in that number 9 position could really bring the best out of Mason Greenwood at some point in time. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on this game. I mean, there's not really too much to say about Brighton. We saw Brighton against us only a few days ago, so hopefully Manchester United can get the job done in this game, get through to the next round. I'm not too sure if we know who we could play in the next round, probably be decided after this game, but just get through the tie. We'll probably have a really hard tie in the next round, but it would be great to get through, because we could really do with getting a trophy under our belt this season. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Like the video, subscribe if you're watching this on Facebook. If you're not, on YouTube. And if you're watching it on Facebook, please do hit the share button and head over to All Things Man United on YouTube and subscribe there. And I'll talk to you all again soon. See ya.